Have you ever wondered what it would be like if there was a first-person view in The Sims? Welcome to Open Plumbob, the show that deliberates fruitless paradigms such as this. If the team were to add a first-person view into The Sims 4, it would not be the first time it was in a Sims game. But before we talk about that, let's talk about why they might want to add it. You're probably thinking that it wouldn't be feasible to add something on this scale to The Sims, but it could be added at any point. Really, with the know-how of the developers, I wouldn't be surprised. But the big question is why, and what would it do for gameplay? Of course, there's one huge reason why, that being you could connect with your Sims on a whole new level. You would share a point of view with them, and you would be experiencing things alongside them, whereas in other games you get a more godlike experience, and although you share moments with them, you might not connect in the same way. That makes for a very good reason as to why you might want to add a first-person view into The Sims 4. In the same way, adding a first-person view wouldn't be impossible, as it is in many games. In fact, it is even in many games by Electronic Arts, who publishes The Sims. Those very same control schemes from games such as Titanfall and Battlefield can be ported over and modified to create a first-person Sims experience. Wow, that would be interesting.
It's on the way. Stand by for Titanfall.
But what about gameplay? How would a first-person view affect the gameplay of our favorite game franchise? Well, let me put it this way. You won't be too happy with a change that big. Let's look back and reflect on those choices that have already been made by the developers of the Sims games. But first, let me give you a bit of information. For the longest time, gamers have always wanted good games, and they have repeatedly said that they want innovation, but both of those things have proven to be false. Firstly, average people just don't know what they want until they have it. MatPat has a wonderful game theory video about this, which you can find in the description down below, which is definitely worth your time to watch after this video, of course. Essentially, he says that people didn't know what kind of games they wanted until they were able to play them, which led to innovation. But more often than not, gamers haven't enjoyed the new things and would rather play what most people would call old, bad, and boring remakes, like Call of Duty for example. The Sims has been consistent in its way of development for some time now. It has been a third-person life simulator since its infant stages, and it still is to this day, or at least the main game that most people play. Back in 2010, Electronic Arts released a game called The Sims 3 for the Nintendo Wii. I owned that game, and at the time of its release, I didn't have enough money for a computer, so I just got The Sims 3 for the Nintendo Wii. It was my first time playing The Sims 3, but I had watched many YouTubers play it, so I knew what to expect. Or so I thought. Create a Sim was just as normal, but once I got into the live mode gameplay, I soon discovered that it was a first-person game. I had just created my own family in the game, which if you didn't know is pretty big, and was ready to act like a god to them, but instead found myself being stuck trying to manage the life of one Sim, as you had to move them manually with the first-person controls. To say the least, it was tedious, and not a good addition to gameplay. It just made the game a boring, repetitive struggle. Honestly, if you really want to, you can check out that game and try it for yourself if you want, but a first-person view in The Sims is just not what you really want to see, and I promise you that. What is something you want to see in The Sims? Let me know in the comments section down below. Don't forget that every Friday I release a new episode of The Sims 4 News. If you liked the video, please do give it a rating, and if you particularly enjoyed the video, please do subscribe. It really does help. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at TheRenderman5 for the latest updates, and until next time, happy simming.